Hey, this is Reviews and Other Stuff, and today I'll be reviewing the film Fall. It's a new survival thriller starring Grace Carolyn Curry, Virginia Gardner, Mason Gooding, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. The film is directed by Scott Mann, who also co-wrote the screenplay. His last big film with big name stars was Heist back in 2015, which also starred Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Dave Bautista from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailer. Absolutely no spoilers will be given away in this review. As always, I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. As seen in the trailer, two best friends Becky and Hunter find themselves at the top of a 2,000-foot radio tower. Now, I'm going to immediately get it out of the way and let you know I really enjoyed this film. I checked my local theater just to see if anything new was coming out the weekend of August 12th, with the intention of really catching up on films I missed from the last 2 to 3 weeks. Lo and behold, this was one of the new films listed, and I had not heard a peep about it, nor did I even see any advertisement for it. So I immediately went to check out the trailer to see what the film was about, and I was immediately hooked. I was sold, just completely sucked in. I knew I was going to watch this, no questions asked. I was just praying it wouldn't be a dumpster fire. I love thriller films that keep you guessing, and this is one of the good ones. So, as seen in the trailer, Becky and her friend Hunter are very active and athletic, the complete opposite of me. Okay, okay. The film starts out when they're rock climbing, along with Becky's husband. However, an unexpected accident happens when a bird flies out of a small crevice, and her husband is unable to climb back up, and it leads to his unexpected death. So the film then takes place upon their 1 year anniversary. And after all this time, Becky is still emotionally distraught and unable to recover. So she finds a new best friend in beer. She's just a lush and drinking her sorrows away. Everyone is concerned about her and trying to help her get out of this rut, including her father, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And her best friend Hunter also tries as well and proposes they go do something exciting like climbing a 2,000-foot radio tower somewhere out in the desert. She's hesitant at first, and after rethinking, decides to join her. Now, this premise alone is crazy, and if someone asked me, you know damn well I would have respectfully declined the offer. Like, I would never do that. So, the two journey up the radio tower, and this thing is out in the desert for God knows how many years. It's exposed to the elements and has wear and tear. The thing is just slowly chipping away for years, so it's definitely not a sturdy thing that someone would want to climb. So the plot is pretty basic and straightforward, but it's the things in between that keeps the film going, and it's those interesting plot elements that make you invested to see what happens next. Now, let me get to my pros and cons. So, my first pro is the directing. The film is extremely well crafted, and it shows in the end product. It's extremely intense, and I guess the best way to categorize this type of genre film is probably closest to a survival suspense thriller. I was sweating bullets from the very beginning of the film and pretty much all the way through. The only time I wasn't was when Becky was a lush. Now, number two, the performances in the film are great. I'm not familiar with the two actresses, and I had to look up their prior acting credits, and I thought they gave really good performances. They were strong, and their performances were very believable. When they reach the top, they only have this small platform to stand and sit on, and it's very small. There were instances from time to time where one would stand really close to the edge or sit a certain way, and if there was a gust of wind, it would have literally knocked one of them down. So there were times where it was a bit unbelievable that anyone in that situation like that would sit or stand in a carefree manner, knowing death is waiting for them on the ground if they make one bad move. Now, third, I like the entire tone and atmosphere of the film because it made me feel uncomfortable because I'm sitting in the theater and sweating the whole time, like literally sitting on the edge of my seat. This is a nail biter film. My hands were sweating nonstop. I felt like I needed high blood pressure medication, and I don't even have high blood pressure. And at times, it's almost like one can feel everything as if you were standing next to them watching them go through this because of the way it was shot. The director and screenwriters really found inventive ways to keep this film going as long as it did by putting the girls in interesting WTF situations of trying to survive or finding ways to signal for help or just get to the ground through any methods possible. And I kept asking myself, like, how is anyone going to get out of this? Even the runtime almost felt like an inventive way of torturing the audience, but in a good way because it prolongs and keeps building the suspense. And in some regard, you want it to end and get close, but it's so good and keeps you on your toes, engaged and guessing the whole time. Now, I don't really have any cons for this film, so I'll put my gripes in the undecided category. Now, I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Mason Gooding, who plays Becky's husband, and it's nice to see Batman's father, Thomas Wayne, on screen, but they have really small parts in the film. I'm sure this film was shot on an extremely tight budget with a small filming window, and you know movie stars want to get paid. So the less days they are on set is the less they get paid. So I do wish we got a bit more scenes with them, but I understand because of the film's unique premise. The focus is really on the girls. So if you are here to see those two, just keep in mind they have small parts in the film. Now, the special effects are really good in the film. There were only a few instances where you could tell it was bad CGI. Only a few shots where the tower looked like a PlayStation 2 video game, but the majority of it looked great and looked real. I have no idea where it was shot, like on a sound stage or, or the majority of it, but regardless, it was just well done. Now, third, not going to give anything away, but this film does have a reveal and a twist, and it was unexpected. I'm thinking to myself, with everything the girls are in and the fact that they are 2,000 feet up in the air, and that this isn't even taking place in someone's home or on the sidewalk, I was completely shocked the writers were able to throw in a twist and a reveal this high up in the sky. So kudos for giving us so many WTFs. Now, my final thoughts is this film gets a solid 8 out of 10 from me. It is definitely worth checking out at your local theater before it gets removed. It is crazy to think the movie season is winding down and the big blockbuster films have come to an end. August is usually the time of summer where the selection of films are extremely slim and almost seems like films most people aren't interested in checking out, but this one is a winner. This film, it gets you pumped and gives you a big adrenaline rush. It gives you fear-inducing anxiety and it's full of suspense. I feel like Where the Crawdads Sing just came out and it's already unavailable at my local theater. Definitely support the smaller films and your local movie theater by checking this one out. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, if you like, please subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share this video with your friends. I try to make a video once a week if I can. Thanks so much, and thanks for checking out my review. Hope you enjoyed it, and leave your comments below on whether you like the film or not. And I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.